Hello YouTube, I'm the Foam Witch and welcome to What the Cosplay. So what is What the Cosplay, I hear you ask?
No one's asking.
Well, I'm going to tell you anyway. This is an idea I've had in my head for a few years now, where I'm hopefully going to make a series of videos where I go and talk to other cosplayers and crafters and ask them what cosplay means to them. So because this is the first episode and I haven't got any victims yet...
Volunteers.
What?
Volunteers.
Oh yeah, volunteers, not victims. This episode, unfortunately for some, is going to be about me. So without further ado, let's start the first episode of What the Cosplay and let's get to it. Hello, so my name is Sean. You may or may not know me as the Foam Witch. I am a cosplayer slash crafter from North Wales and I'm 32 years of age. So I first started cosplaying in, I think it was about 2013, and basically I have loved the Power Rangers all my life and I wanted the suit, and obviously being an adult I earned my own money and could afford to buy my own. So that's what I did, and my first costume was terrible. It was this Green Ranger suit and it was just, I bought everything cheap off eBay. I had this awful helmet that was the wrong shape and it just wasn't that great, but I loved it, and that's what kind of kicked off my whole cosplay journey. And then once I had that first costume, I then met my best friend Andy Carter. We actually met through online forums of Power Rangers, and he suggested that we should both get accurate Power Rangers costumes. So we were going to, I think it was London Comic Con, and that was the plan. We were going to research the costumes and we were going to put all our effort into getting these amazing costumes, and we found it. He was the Black Ranger, I went as the Green Ranger. They were amazing, and that was our first Comic Con and it was just incredible. And since then I've just been hooked on cosplay and costumes and the whole kind of world of it. Over my years of cosplay I've done a lot of different cosplays and costumes. Towards the beginning it was mainly Power Rangers, but then I kind of moved on to other things, and then with finding the whole crafting side of cosplay, that gave me even more opportunities with costumes. I've done quite a few wrestling related costumes, I've done Marvel costumes, DC costumes, and there's just so many costumes in between that I want to kind of get round to making and wearing, so there's a lot of things to come. So some of the costumes I'm most well known for, it probably depends who you ask. A lot of people would say Green Ranger because that was originally my first costume. So after my first Comic Con we met a lot of other Power Rangers cosplayers and I've made some really great friends, and together we formed a group called PR UK, which is a Power Rangers costuming group who go up and down the country raising money for charity. So from the Green Ranger I moved on to being predominantly the Pink Ranger then, even though I hate the colour pink and I hate wearing skirts. But then you've got other people who know me more so for my AJ Styles costume and also my Fiend costume. So again, it kind of depends who you ask, but if I probably had to pick which one I was most well known for, I'd probably say AJ Styles gets the most reaction now, so probably that one, and there has been kind of like articles and things done on that costume, so I'd probably say AJ Styles. These days I'd probably describe myself more as a crafter than a cosplayer. Since discovering all about foam craft, and I make a lot of my own costumes now, I'm more interested in the making of the costumes than the wearing of the costumes. Also because I'm getting older and I like to eat a lot of pizza, so the wearing of the costumes these days can be a bit difficult because pizza is life. And I know this sounds dumb because I'm kind of in front of a camera right now and I've got an Instagram and I've got a YouTube, but I'd much rather be behind the camera, if that makes sense, than kind of center stage as the cosplayer. So my favorite costume to wear is AJ Styles, mainly because it was very comfortable to wear. It was basically just a t-shirt and leggings and some comfortable shoes, and I really liked wearing a beard because I like to hide my face. One of my best moments in cosplay, again, you can probably tell what's coming, but I did kind of get quite recognised a lot for my AJ Styles costume, and I did have the opportunity to meet him in my costume, and AJ Styles is just like my hero, and I love the wrestling, and I've been following AJ Styles for years. So getting to meet him was just incredible, and also being in costume. I remember I walked over to him and he looked at me and he said, "Hey, I know you, I've seen you online," and that was just like, that was mind-blowing that he kind of knew who I was. And I just thanked him for being my hero and like an inspiration, and he said that my costume was awesome, and then we got a picture together, and that was the interaction really. And then I walked off and I cried because I was so happy. So that was probably one of my best moments in cosplay. I also met Bray Wyatt as the Fiend. He's genuinely one of the nicest people I've ever met, and he loved my costume again. He said it was the first Fiend costume he'd ever seen, and yeah, he was just amazing. So there's lots of other good moments. Obviously spending time with friends at Comic-Con, raising a lot of money for charity as a member of PR UK is incredible, and just the support and things that I get. But people can be so supportive, it makes you feel good, and it's like what you're doing means something to someone, so that's always a plus. So I have had the opportunity, the awesome opportunity, to be featured by both DC and Marvel. I was featured on the DC fandom a few years ago now for my Wonder Woman costume, because I made the full Golden Eagle armour, and they featured it on their fandom event, which was just incredible. To see my picture and my creation up there in front of millions of people was just so awesome. And also the same with Marvel. So I made the Captain Carter costume for the What If series, and my shield got featured on their Instagram. So to see my face on their page was just, what? So the best thing about cosplay and crafting and the whole kind of community is exactly that. It's the community really. Without costuming and cosplay, I wouldn't have met some amazing people. I wouldn't have had a lot of the opportunities that I've had. It's also brought me out of my shell a lot, but it really kind of, it just boosts your confidence a little bit, and just if you're another character, it just makes you feel like you can do anything. I've also met some of my best friends through cosplay, which I probably would never have met if it wasn't for doing what I do. And meeting a lot of the people that I've met along the way, celebrity-wise, is just mind-blowing to me. Like some of my absolute heroes I've met, and it's because of costuming. So yeah, I've done quite a lot. So the worst thing about cosplay, other people will have different opinions onto what the worst thing is, but for me it's kind of the competitive nature of it. A lot of people say there isn't a competitive nature to cosplay, but if you're not the first person to kind of make a costume and get it out there, it sometimes can feel like you're a bit irrelevant. I have a full-time job, so cosplay is my hobby. I haven't got the time to spend all day every day making a costume to be the first person to get it out there, and I know that's not what cosplay is all about, but sometimes it does feel like it is very competitive. And then if someone's made something already, it's kind of like, well, what's the point? I know a lot of people get trolled online and things, but I haven't I'm probably jinxing myself now, but I've never really experienced anything like that. There may have been the odd negative comment, and if there is, I just block and delete them, so they're not worth my time. So I have been very lucky with all of the support I've got. It does blow my mind every day how supportive people are of me and what I do. But another kind of negative aspect is sometimes not feeling like the best looking person out there. If you're not like the really good looking person, it kind of sometimes feels like it can be hard because people don't really care as much. And again, that's another reason why I kind of like to stay behind the scenes. Again, I know it seems odd that I'm sat in front of a camera right now saying that, but on my Instagram and things, I'd rather post pictures of the costumes and the props than like myself in them. And again, that's another reason why I kind of say that I'm a crafter these days rather than a cosplayer, because I'd like to show off the things I make rather than my face. So upcoming costume wise, I am planning to go to Wales Comic Con in November, and for that I am building the Volcano Man costume from the Eurovision movie. If you've never seen the Eurovision movie, please go and watch it. I believe it's one of the greatest films of all time. A lot of other people will not agree, but I love it. So I'm currently in the process of making that. I have been working on it for about 2 years now, so it's coming to the crunch time where I need it to be ready, because there's only kind of a few weeks before Comic-Con, but fingers crossed that will be ready. And one that's always been on my list is a full Iron Man suit. As soon as I started learning about crafting and foam craft, I was like, I am going to build myself an Iron Man suit, and I haven't quite got round to it yet. And I've probably been crafting for about 5 years now, so it's probably time that I get round to doing what I said I was going to do. So look out for that at some point, because it will be coming. My dream cosplay, if money was no option, would always be the Yellow Ranger suit from the Power Rangers movie. As soon as I saw that suit, I'll be honest, I was a bit like, oh, they're not great. But once I watched the film, and I loved the film, I was like, I need that suit. So that's always up there on my list. But just doing that suit justice would be difficult to make myself. So to get like a full replica, it definitely would mean money is no option, which unfortunately for me is not the case at the moment. So that's up there as a pipe dream at the moment, but if I win the lottery. If anyone wanted to find me on social media, I'm mainly on Instagram and YouTube at The Foam Witch for both of them. So yeah, if anyone would like to go and follow me, that would be awesome. So thank you very much for listening to me waffling on about crafting and costumes. I hope you've enjoyed it. If anyone would like to feature in this, as I say, I'd like this to be a series, so if you are interested in doing your own What the Cosplay Talk, just drop me a message, that would be awesome. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. If you like content like this and would like to see some more, it would be awesome if you could subscribe to my channel. And that's all I've got left to say for this video, so I'll see you next time.